Well, I guess I'm a day late and a dollar short because this is my weekly reads video, which I hope to put up every Monday morning, but instead it's Tuesday morning. Well, why am I putting this video up a day later than my schedule has laid out? Well, because yesterday I made 4 videos. The first week of April video, a stitch and chat, and 2 book review videos. And after all of that editing, I just needed to let my mind rest, so I stitched until I watched a couple of shows last night. Now, in my last recent reads, I read 13 books in that week. But in this one, 2, 3, I've only read 6. The reason I read half of what I read a week ago is simply because I slept and slept and slept and slept mostly Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if I wasn't sleeping, I was binge watching The Gilded Age. I think I had to watch episodes 8 and 9 of The Gilded Age, maybe 4 times, because every time I would get into a certain part of one of the episodes, I would fall asleep. Or I got to episode 9 and I didn't remember the continuity, so I had to go back to episode 8. But guess what? I stayed awake and I finished it, and I love the way the season ended. I don't know anything about the filming schedule or the next season, but it's called The Gilded Edge, written, produced, created by Julian Fellows. Excellent, excellent show. So, I'm also watching Bridgerton, but I'm waiting on friends so that we can decide as a group. I'm just pulling up Goodreads while I talk to you how we're going to watch episodes 3 and 4. And let me bring up currently reading. I think I need to increase the font on this tablet. So I I have the books I'm going to tell you about in this video in currently reading because I like to leave them there on Goodreads until I get the reviews up. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So the first book that we're going to talk about in this video is My Mother's Gift by Steffanie Edward. Now, I think most of these books, if not all, have been reviewed on this channel. One, when we talk about it, won't be reviewed. The video is made, but it won't show up on this channel until the publication date. So this is My Mother's Gift by Steffanie Edward, and it's about a young woman named Erica. Well, she's a mother of a girl that's going to get married, so she's a middle-aged woman. But it's about a woman named Erica who gets a phone call from her auntie saying that you need to come. I can't take care of your mother anymore. Now, Erica lives in London. That's where her life is. But her mother lives in St. Lucia, where her aunt lives. And she doesn't hesitate. She jumps on a plane and she goes right to her mother, who is suffering from Alzheimer's. Her dementia is really bad, far worse than Erica could have imagined over a short period, what she considered to be a short period of time. Now, her mother's from St. Lucia, so Erica is familiar with that place, and no doubt her mother would want to stay in St. Lucia, but Erica wants to bring her mother home. She wants to take her mother back to London. Now, what she finds with her mother, like I had mentioned, her mother's dementia had reached a really, really serious point. As a matter of fact, this book was so serious and so sensitive that I could not read it in one sitting. Even though I don't know anybody with Alzheimer's, it was just a very sensitive book. So that was My Mother's Gift, and I gave it 5 stars. The next book I read was Desperation and Death, and that's by J.D. Robb. Now, this book won't be out until September 6th, so my video review won't go on my channel or my blog until the book is released. Now, the publisher asked us to not talk much about the book, so I'm just going to say pretty much one thing. The case that Eve is working on, Detective Eve Dallas, brings back her painful childhood. That's all I'll say about that. And then the next book I read was Savvy, or I didn't say that right. Savvy Sheldon Feels as Good as Hell. And I love this book. I'm just bringing it up on Goodreads. This was about a plus size woman whose boyfriend, ex boyfriend, just ended their relationship suddenly. Um, he told her that they just weren't compatible. And she found out easily enough that he was disappointed in her because of her weight. And so she goes into what she called Project Upgrade to change her appearance, whether it's from glasses to contacts, whether it was her wardrobe, even her hair, which was long and luscious, and then she even cut her hair. Anything to change her appearance. Joining yoga or playing aggressive tennis just to get that weight off. But she meets somebody who tells her that she's beautiful. He tells her this all the time. And we watch Savvy go from insecure to having great inner strength, always surrounded by friends, and her new love. So that is by McCoy. I think this was a debut. Let's just see really quick. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure. Yeah, this, yes, this was McCoy's debut novel. So I just want to tell you that. The next book I read was The Lion Club by Annie Ward. And this was about three mothers, and I'm not going to pull it up on Goodreads. Let's say Asha, Brooke, and I can't remember the third mother, but three mothers. And it might be Rachel. But the three mothers were very, very different. One was, Brooke, for example, was affluent and gorgeous. Asha was pregnant. I am going to bring it up because I want the third woman's name. Asha was pregnant with a teenager and maybe like a preteen son. And then our third woman, what is her name? I can't think of her name. Natalie. Natalie was the office worker. Now, when I say office worker, Asha and Brooke had children that went to an exclusive private school, and this is where Natalie worked. And so it was a case of the haves and have-nots. Natalie aspired to be what Asha and Brooke were. Even Asha, who was affluent, also wanted to be what Brooke was. Beautiful and lovely and gracious, but now she's pregnant in her middle age, because remember, she has a teenager. Her teenager's 15, so she's probably getting closer to 40. And now she's pregnant again. And Asha's worried that her husband might be having an affair. Natalie wants something she can't have. And Brooke, we just don't know about Brooke. Well, when the book starts off, however, there's two bodies. But so you know in the beginning of the book that at least two people died, but you read through this book at a slow, even pace to find out hundreds of pages into the book who it was that actually died, why, and how, and who killed that person, or persons, because there were two. So that was The Lion Club. I'm not quite sure what the name of the title has to do with the book. There was no club. There really was no lies. So I don't know. Then I read The Family Holiday by Shalini Boland. You have two families, and I'm not looking at my notes, but I think it was the Kildare family and the Mason family. The Kildare family was from the UK. The Mason family was from Italy, and they used a website to do a house swap for what they call holiday, which we call vacation. And so the Masons are going to the UK and the Kildares are going to Italy and staying in each other's homes. Now, there's a coincidence that comes up maybe 30% or so into the book that shows that there are no such things as coincidences, and that these families are connected in a very specific way. And that's what makes this book a psychological thriller. But it read more like a domestic drama with the element of mystery thrown in. But it still was a very good book. Actually, it was such a good book, it's getting 5 stars. And that is by Shalini Boland, The Family Holiday. The last book I've read that we'll talk about in this video is The Killer's Family by Miranda Smith. This is about 3 sisters who just buried their father 6 months after they buried their mother. So they barely got over the loss of their mother, and now they're dealing with the loss of their father. Right after the funeral, the 3 sisters go to different parts of the house. They're just so overwhelmed with grief. While Molly, I believe, heads to her father's workshop, or like his lair, his man cave. And she starts looking around and thinking of memories of her father, or she stumbles upon something that looks like there's something under the floor. Like another room, perhaps? Well, around that time, her sisters find her, and the 3 of them discover a treasure trove of something that was utterly horrifying. The fact was, here is solid proof to something that they never would have expected in a million years. Their father was a serial killer. The Gemini killer, in fact, where 17 women lost their lives, but the Gemini killer stopped at victim number 17. So now the 3 sisters have a decision to make. We need to go to the police. But do they? In fact, later, another body is found, but in present day, and it looks like the Gemini killer is back at it. But how can the Gemini killer be back at it if their father is dead and buried? So who is committing this new murder, or what turns out to be murders, and why do the police think that the Gemini killer is back? And what can these 3 sisters do to keep their lives as normal as possible with these revelations? And that was really, really good. The Killer's Family by Miranda Smith. By the way, The Killer's Family, My Mother's Gift, and The Family Holiday, they were all from Bookouture. Savvy Sheldon Feels as Good as Hell, I believe that was from St. Martin's, and Desperation and Death was also from St. Martin's. So I really need to mention the publishers a little bit more consistently, because they send me these books for me to read, and I really appreciate that. So that's going to end this recent reads. I know, like I said, it's a day late, but here you have it. I want to thank you for watching. Bye-bye.